Hello there, Martin Schrubar from ActiveDocs here. In this video, we'll show you the basics of template design. We'll take an ordinary Microsoft Word document and we'll turn it into an automated template. Let's start by having a look at this Microsoft Word document. At the moment, it has no automation in it. It is a simple document having a few sections, a few tables, and a few bullet points in it. Automated with ActiveDocs, I'll bring up the Content Manager application, and we can use the import function to bring in the Microsoft Word document. On importation, nothing will happen to the document. It will still stay the same as before because ActiveDocs works natively with the Word format. I'll give it a name. Let's say Demo Template 1. And now I can right-click and edit the template. It will open in Microsoft Word and it will have the ActiveDocs Opus ribbon, which is where I can apply the automation from. I'll go to the Manage Template dialog, and here is where we manage design items. Those would be fields, groups, rules, and so on. We'll illustrate on a practical example of automating this document how this works. I could create the automation fields manually, but because I have already set up connection to data sources, I can just go straight to the data source and import fields from it. I select only the ones that I want and create a group that automatically picked up on the name of the data view, calling it client details. I can tidy up a few things because we imported it from the data source. There could be some spaces missing, so I can include those if I want to, or replace the underscore with a space for the display value. Now I'm ready to include these fields in my template. I will include them at the start of my document where client details typically would be. I can use designer pane. We typically use designer pane in designer mode, and I can just insert. If I want to include more fields at the same time, I can through the Insert Active Field dialog. I'll include my street address and city. I can format these fields in any way that Microsoft Word lets me format them, so I can apply styles or remove styles and apply any formatting. I can also copy fields as I would any other text in Microsoft Word, so I can place them in a few places that will let us show you how ActiveDocs works with automation across the wide range of use cases. I'll include some in section B here and in a few places in section C as well. Now we can look at something perhaps more advanced and more interesting. Let's make section B rule-driven. We can make this section to be location specific. Just select the section and click on Apply Rule. We haven't created any rules yet, so I will create a new one. I'll build up rule using two conditions. The first one will be relevant to the location. So if the city is equal to, and I'm looking into my data source, and maybe I'll select Brisbane, Queensland, and at the same time, the title of our client is Mr. In that case, the condition of the rule will be satisfied and the section will be included. I can make this paragraph from section B location specific as well. And again, I'll select the paragraph, apply the rule. This time I didn't have to create it again. We applied the same rule in two places. If I now realize that the rule was actually incorrect and it should be referencing another city, We don't want a condition relevant to the title. I can just change it in one place, and all rules in the template will be updated automatically. I don't need to search for the content of the rules in the body of the template. It's all managed in one place. At the start of the document, there is a date field, and we can show you an example of how this date field can be created and populated. I'll go to the Manage Template dialog, create a group, and I'll call it Document Details. Within this group, I will create a field called Document Date. The field will be of date type, and I can format the date any way I want, and I will also give it a default value. Perhaps today is a good start. I'll also set some validation criteria for it. Let's say I want this date to be at most a few days in the past. The validation criterion will be calculated by subtracting a few days from today's date. So I'll select day minus 3 days. I can now insert the field. I can insert it straight from here. And there we go. I can also add document name. So it will be a simple calculation. We'll put together 3 values. Some text that I can type up. Document 4. And we can select the first name and the last name of the person. I'll enable automatic updates both in the wizard as well as repagination, which will ensure that our table of contents is accurate. And now we can test the template. I'll hit the test the template button. It will open in ActiveDocs document wizard, and we can connect to the live data source and select somebody. Let's select somebody who is not from Auckland so we can see those sections removed. Here we have our document details. If I select a date somewhere far in the past, it won't let me do that. So I will select something in the future. When I hit the Finish button, the document is generated. It has the document name that was calculated, and we can download it. So this is the document. It has the document date that I selected. The table of contents has been updated. It's missing section B. The section B is not in this document. Neither is the location-specific paragraph of section C. We're back in our template now, and we'll add some more automation functionality. We'll automate this table that lists people's names. To do that, I will bring in another type of data source. It will be a data source that will enable me to create one or many entries, like for example, a table with list of people. I'll use actually the same data source. I'll just use it in another capacity. In this case, I will only select the first name and last name, and I will create a repeating item group. I'll call it list of clients. That's what I created here. I can now apply that on my table. I will insert the first name and the last name. I will delete the superfluous rows. And because the concept of repeating items in ActiveDocs can be applied on such a wide variety of elements, it can be as simple as what we're illustrating here, a row of a table. It can be applied over a section of a document, over several paragraphs. It can be applied over the entire template. which is why I'm going to split the table and tell ActiveDocs only to repeat this one row. I'll also tell it to merge the table rows and headers together so we get one monolithic table as a result, as opposed to having multiple rows one after the other. Now I can test it. I'll select somebody who is from Auckland this time, so we can see all of the content appearing. I leave the default document date, and I will add clients manually. I'll select all of them at this point. When we open the document, we can see right away that the section B has been included. And if we scroll down, we'll see that the table has all the people that we selected in it. We can perhaps make the table populate the list automatically based on some criteria that we include. For that, I'll go to my Manage Template dialog and click on one of the fields in my repeating item group. Here I can define a filter, and I will use a filter that will select people based on the selection of the client we made in the first step. So if the first name of anyone in the table is greater than or equal to the name of the first person we selected, then they will be included. And this is a simple example of a dynamic filter that we're creating. If I now test the template, I will have almost everyone here because I selected Alex, who's almost, if not the first one in my list. If I select somebody like Paul, there should be fewer entries, and there are. So I can generate a document, and when I open the document, you'll see that the table has few entries in it, and the document has reflown accordingly. We are back in our template again, and we're going to turn one part of it into an ActiveDocs snippet. Snippet is a reusable piece of content that can be shared across any number of templates. The benefit of it is that you can change it in one place, and the changes will be reflected in all templates appropriately. For that, we'll turn section C into a snippet. To do that, I'll simply select and click on Create Snippet. ActiveDocs will automatically pick up on the selected content and automation and bring it into the snippet. I'll select the folder where I want to place it and give the snippet a name. So I'll call it Demo Section C. And the snippet is created. I'll go into the Content Manager application and have a look at my snippets. You can see that it's been created, and I can view it to see the automation in it. You can see that it's exactly the same as it was in the template. I will check it in and publish it. I can publish it right away, which is what I'll do to have it available, or I can publish it on a specified date and time to make it available, or make an update available at a defined date. Going back to my template, I can remove the section C entirely and replace it with a link to the snippet. I'll give it a name and select the snippet that I want to use. In my case, it's the Demo Section C snippet. I'll click OK and insert, and from that point on, the section C will be included from the snippet. So if I want to make any changes to it, I will go to the snippet itself. I can now test the template and observe no difference in the result. If I select somebody, and open the document, the section C should be populated accordingly. and it is. This gets more interesting when we apply single snippet across multiple templates. And mainly our clients often ask us, okay, we have hundreds or thousands of these snippets, but now we want to change how our templates look. For example, they want to change the fonts of headings or the body of templates. And they can do that. We can show you an example of how it might work. For example, the marketing department may issue a direction that the font of all headings needs to change to humanist and its color change to orange. And the same goes for second level headings as well. Furthermore, the standard text needs to change from Calibri to Times New Roman. I can now test the template without touching the snippet. I can also use previously saved answers to recreate the document exactly as it was before without re-entering any values. And now when we downloaded the document, we can see that all of it uses the new styles, including the section C. The template functionality is the most important part of any document automation solution. Its robustness and ease of use determines how much effort will be required to automate your templates and to maintain them. If you have any questions about this or otherwise, please email me at martin.schrubar@activedocs.com. See you in the next demo.